Hello everyone, welcome to Basics e-learning.
In lesson number 5 video of Fourier analysis, I am going to explain problems on finding complex coefficients. In my previous lectures, I have explained basics of signals and systems and numericals, Z transforms and problems based on Z transforms completely. All the questions that I have selected are from previous question papers. Also, there are few lectures on network analysis, the link of which I am going to provide in the description box. Please check it out. Also, students who need online classes can contact us through the mail ID mentioned in the description box. Let us see the first question. Find the complex Fourier coefficients for x of t given below. The given signal here is cos of 2 pi by 3t plus 2 cos 5 pi by 3t. So this signal, first to find out the Fourier coefficient, we need to write this x of t in the form sigma k is running from minus infinity to infinity x of k e power jk omega naught t, right? So this is the formula. We need to write down the given x of t in this format of e power jk omega naught t, where x of k are the coefficients, that is the required Fourier coefficients. So let us write the given x of t in the form of e powers. So we know cos theta can be written as e power j theta plus e power minus j theta divided by 2. So this cos of 2 pi by 3t, right? So this is of that form. In place of theta I have 2 pi by 3, right? So that I am writing here e power half of e power j 2 pi by 3t plus half e power minus j 2 pi by 3t. This is for the first term. Coming to the second term, 2 multiplied by, again that half will come, so that it will get cancelled. Only e power will come. As I have 2 here, this 2 and 2 will get cancelled. So this will be e power j 5 pi by 3t plus e power minus j 5 pi by 3t, right? So now I have written the given x of t in terms of e powers, right? So now we have to find out omega naught. If you observe, this is not in that format, right? So jk omega naught t. So the common frequency we have to find out. So convert them into common frequency. So to find out the common frequency, let us compare the given two signals and find out the frequencies. So it's a combination of two signals, right? So for the first signals, if you compare, so this if you compare e power j omega naught omega 1t, let us say the first signal is omega 1 and this is e power j omega 2t, compare. So you will get omega 1 is nothing but 2 pi by 3 here, right? So if you compare the power, so omega 1 I am getting it as 2 pi by 3. So omega 1 is 2 pi by 3. Similarly here if you compare omega 2, you will get it as 5 pi by 3. So to get the common frequency for these two signals, that is if you combine these two signals of different frequencies, you will get one common frequency. The common frequency omega naught is nothing but GCD of omega 1 and omega 2, right? That is the greatest common divisor of these two frequencies. So let us find out the GCD of these two. That means GCD of here 2 pi by 3 and 5 pi by 3, right? So that you will get it as pi by 3. 2 pi by 3 and 5 pi by 3, you will get it as greatest common is 5 pi by 3, right? So now this is nothing but your omega naught, right? So you write it in terms of omega naught, the given signal. As the given signal I have converted into powers of E, right? Now this you have to write in terms of omega naught. Let us do that, right? So that is nothing but here x of t I am writing. See, the first term I have half e power j 2 pi by 3t. In place of pi by 3, I write omega naught. So that it will be 1 by 2 e power j omega naught t plus 1 by 2 e power minus j 2 omega naught t. This is j 2 omega naught t. This is minus j 2 omega naught t. Right? This here also this pi by 3 you write it as omega naught. So e power j 5 omega naught t plus e power j minus j 5 omega naught t. Right? So this wherever I have pi by 3 term, right, that I am replacing with omega naught in the given x of t. So let us do. So I am writing that. So x of t is equal to 1 by 2 e power j 2 omega naught t plus 1 by 2 e power minus j 2 omega naught t plus e power j 5 omega naught t plus e power minus j 5 omega naught t. Right? So this is what my x of t. Now you have to compare with the basic formula, that is x of t is equal to sigma k is running from minus infinity to infinity x of k e power j k omega naught t. Right? So if you observe here, this is your x of k and this is e power j k omega naught t. Right? Observe j k omega naught t, j k omega naught t. Right? Each term is representing j k omega naught t and k is varying here. Right? So upon comparing, what I am getting here is this is nothing but in place of k I have 2 here. Correct? This is 2. This is minus 2. This term represents x of 5. This term represents x of minus 5. So if I write x of minus 5, it has a coefficient here is 1. Right? So x of minus 5 is 1. X of 5 has again coefficient of 1. X of minus 2 has a coefficient of half. Similarly, x of 2 has a coefficient of 1 by 2. Right? See, this is your x of 2 term. This is x of minus 2 term. This is x of 5 and this is x of minus 5. So, upon comparing, you can get the complex Fourier coefficients of the given x of t. I'll explain once again here. The given signal contains two cosine signals of different frequencies. First of all, you have to write down the given signal in terms of e powers, right? So that you can compare the signal with the standard form. So I have written this cos theta in terms of e power j theta plus e power minus j theta by 2. As it is a combination of two different frequencies, we have to bring down the common frequency. So omega 1 I wrote and omega 2 I wrote. To find out the common frequency, GCD of omega 1 and omega 2, I found it as pi by 3. So the given x of t, you just change the given x of t format in terms of omega naught. Upon changing, I got omega naught. Right? So x of t in terms of omega naught. Once you get the signal, compare with the standard form, get the complex coefficients. Right? So this is the procedure to solve the complex Fourier coefficients for any given signal. Coming to the second question. Find the complex Fourier coefficient, the power spectrum and the total power for x of t defined below. X of t is 5 sin 5t plus 7 cos 6t plus 3. Also find the total power. If x of t was a voltage signal across 10,000 ohm resistance, and similarly if x of t was a current signal through 0.01 ohm resistance. Let us see now. So the given signal, as I said in the previous problem, first we have to write down it in the form of powers of E. So 5t plus 7 cos 6t plus 3. This is the given signal. So you know Sin theta can be written as e power j theta minus e power minus j theta divided by 2j, right? Similarly, cos theta can be written as e power j theta plus e power minus j theta divided by 2. So using that, I am just expanding the given signal, nothing else here. So 5 into e power j 5t minus e power minus j 5t divided by 2j, right? Plus 7 e power j 6t plus e power minus j 6t divided by 2, right? Plus 3. Now this will be, you can further simplify and write this, right? So 5 by 2j e power j5, right? This is nothing but that you can write it as omega naught t, right? Or j5t, right? Minus 5 by 2j e power minus j5t. Similarly, plus 7 by 2 e power j60 plus 7 by 2 e power minus j60 plus 3, right? So this is how I have expanded. Now again, if you see, it's a combination of two signals with two different frequencies, and one is a sinusoidal signal and the other one is a cosine signal. Again, we have to find out the common frequency, right? So let us find out the common frequency here. So omega naught is a combination, that is GCD of omega 1 and omega 2. So omega 1 is with the sine signal and omega 2 is the cos signal, right? So what is the given signal? Sine 5t is one signal and cos 60 is the other signal. So you compare this with sine omega naught t and you compare the other signal with cos omega naught t, right? Or else omega 1 and omega 2 you call. So omega 1 is 5 and omega 2 is equal to 6. So to find out the common angular frequency, GCD of 5 comma 6, 5 comma 6, there is no common factor here, that is nothing but 1 only, right? So GCD is 1 here. So if you want time period also you can write, right? So time period is nothing but 2 pi by omega naught, which is nothing but 2 pi. Right, now you have to write down the given x of t in terms of omega naught. So wherever omega naught is there, that you have to replace it by wherever 1 is there, that you have to write it as omega naught. See here 5jt is nothing but 5jt into 1. So this you can write it as 5j omega naught t minus 5j omega naught t. This also, right? E power j 6 omega naught t e power minus j6 omega naught t, right? Like that we can write. So let us write the given x of t in terms of omega naught, as omega naught is equal to 1 here. I'm just keeping everywhere in the power, I'm just writing omega naught. 5 by 2j e power j5 omega naught t, right? Minus 5 by 2j e power minus j5 omega naught t plus 7 by 2 e power j6 omega naught t, right? Plus 7 by 2 e power minus j6 omega naught t plus 3 I have, right? Now you have to compare this with the standard form to get the complex Fourier coefficient. So what is the standard form? X of t is equal to sigma. K is running from minus infinity to infinity. X of k e power j k omega naught t. Right. So if you compare this one, this in here, first term you compare with e power j k omega naught t. If you compare, the k value is nothing but 5. So this is nothing but x of 5. So if you compare here, k value is minus 5. So this is x of minus 5 term. This is x of 6. Similarly, this is x of minus 6. Then what about this constant term, right? So this you can write it as e power 0. E power 0 is nothing but 1. So this is x of 0 term, right? So upon comparing, what I am getting is x of 0 coefficient is 3, right? X of 5 is nothing but 5 by 2j, or if you write j up, it will be minus j 5j divided by 2, right? Similarly, x of minus 5 is 5j by 2. That is nothing but minus 5 by 2j, right? This you can write it as 5 by 2j. Sorry, 5j by 2, right? Similarly, you have x of 6 is 7 by 2. X of minus 6 is also equal to 7 by 2, right? So these are the complex coefficients that I have. So till now I have followed the same procedure like the previous problem. So after finding the complex Fourier coefficients, we have further to calculate the total power in the signal. So to find out the total power, we have to find out the power in each complex Fourier coefficient, then add it up. So let us see how to do that. So these are the complex coefficients that I have already calculated, right? So to calculate the power in each complex coefficient, that P of k is equal to x of k whole square, magnitude of x of k whole square. So let us try to find out the power that is contained in each term, right? So for x of minus 6, P of minus 6 is nothing but magnitude of 7 by 2 whole square. So that is nothing but 49 by 4. Similarly, P of minus 5, right? So I am going in the order minus 6, minus 5, right? 0, 5 and 6 will do. Okay. So for minus 5, this is 5j by 2 whole square, right? So that is nothing but actually j square is minus 1, but as it has magnitude, so it will be plus 25 by 4. Similarly, power contained in x of 0, p of 0 is nothing but magnitude of 3 square, that is 9. And also we have p of 5. So the signal is minus 5j by 2. So that you write minus 5j by 2 whole square, that is nothing but 25 by 4 here. Also p of 6 is x of 6 term. So that is also 7 by 2 only. So 7 by 2 whole square is 49 by 4. So this is the power that is contained in each individual signal. Now we have to calculate the total power. So total power is nothing but summation k is running from minus infinity to infinity x of k whole square, means individual powers. Add it, right? So if you add all the individual powers of each complex coefficient, then you will get the total power of the given signal. So I'll add it up. 49 by 4 and 49 by 4, 249, 2 into 49 by 4 I have, plus 25 by 4 into 25 by 4. This also I'll write 2 into 25 by 4 plus 9 I have, right? So this is just to make the calculation easier, right? So what I get is 46 watts, right? The unit of power is watts. So this is how we can calculate the total power, right? So this formula is nothing but that Pascal's theorem, right? So next part of the question is if x of t was a voltage across 10,000 ohms resistor, then we have to find out the total power, right? So the given signal is a combination of sine and cosine. So it can be a voltage signal or a current signal. If it is a voltage signal, what happens to the power they're asking? So power P is given by, right, total power P is given by the power that is contained in the signal divided by the resistance, right? So that is nothing but 46 divided by that whatever they have given, the resistance is 10,000. So this is nothing but 4.6 into 10 power minus 3 watt, right? So this is the total power when when this signal is applied across a resistor of 10,000 ohms. Similarly, if this signal was a current signal and is applied across a 0.01 ohm resistor, then what will be the total power? The total power will be reduced because it is applied to a resistor P into R, right? So that is given by 46 into 0.01 ohm. So totally you will get it as 0.46 watts only, right? So the total power is reduced to 0.46 watts here. So this is how you can solve the power related problems. The third problem that I have selected here is find the complex Fourier coefficient for the periodic waveform x of t shown in the figure. Also, draw the amplitude and phase spectra. So already in my previous videos, I have explained the conditions to apply Fourier series. So to apply Fourier series and to find out the Fourier coefficients, one of the condition is the given signal has to be a periodic signal. So see here, x of t is a signal. They are telling it's a periodic waveform. Let us see. Here, the time period is 1 second. So the triangular wave, this is the triangular wave that is continuously repeating on both the sides with the time period as 1 second, right? So here from the figure we can write time period is 1 second. So omega naught is nothing but the angular frequency, 2 pi by t is nothing but 2 pi. So we have to analyze the signal. X of t is nothing but, if you observe here, suppose say if you are taking a range of 0 to 1, it is like a ramp signal, right? So 0 to 1, it is increasing with amplitude 1, means at 0 you have an amplitude of 0, at 1 you have an amplitude of 1. Again from 1 to 2, 0 and 1, 2 to 3, 0 and 1, means it is t, right? So the signal is t from 0 less than t less than 1. And if you observe, as I am telling, it's a periodic waveform. X of t plus t naught has to be x of t if it is a periodic signal. So x of t plus time period is 1, no? So x of t plus 1 is nothing but t. Means the signal is repeated again and again. The same signal is repeated. So x of t plus 1 is also x of t. Now let us find out the Fourier coefficients. So for that we know x of k is nothing but 1 by t integral x of t e power minus j k omega naught t dt. You have here omega naught, we found it as 2 pi, right? So let us substitute that. And time period t is 1 here for us. So 1 by t is 1, integral x of t is t into e power minus j k 2 pi t dt, right? So this is nothing but x of k can be written as integral t into e power minus j k 2 pi t, or you can write minus j 2 pi kt dt, right? So now we need to simplify this x of k in the powers of e, right? We have an integration formula. Integral t per at is given by e per at divided by a square into at minus 1. So if you compare this with the standard form, t e power minus jk 2 pi t, here I have e power at. So if you compare, a is nothing but minus j 2 pi k, right? In place of t I have t. So the remaining whatever I have in the power, that is nothing but a. So let us just substitute it in the formula in place of a as minus j 2 pi k and simplify. So e power at is nothing but minus j 2 pi k into t divided by a square. A square, a is nothing but again minus j 2 pi k t 2 pi k whole square into at minus 1, right? So that is nothing but here minus j 2 pi kt minus 1, right? And you have that limits here. Your t is extending from 0 to 1, right? So your small t is from 0 to 1. So let us simplify this further. So if you put t is equal to 0 once, this is nothing but e power 0 is 1, right? So 1 divided by the whole thing will come. So let us simplify and write. So what I am getting is minus j into 2 pi k divided by j square. This whole square I have. So j square into 2 pi k whole square. J square is nothing but again minus 1. Anyhow, why I am writing is this will get cancelled here, right? So this you can cancel, right? And also anyhow j square you can write it as minus 1, right? So j you can keep it j by 2 pi k, this whole square, and this will get cancelled. So this is nothing but j by 2 pi k. Substitute lower limit minus upper limit minus lower limit, you will get it, right? So this is nothing but j by 2 pi k. So now to get this x of k, I am getting it as j by 2 pi k. Now we have to get the values of Fourier coefficients. So let us find out. X of k is j by 2 pi k. To find out the complex Fourier coefficients, x of 0, if you put in the equation, that is nothing. What is that x of k? X of k is nothing but integral 0 to 1 t e power minus j 2 pi kt dt, right? So this, if you put x of 0, what you will get it? Integral 0 to 1 t dt. That is nothing but integral t is nothing but t square by 2. Put your limits, that is 1 by 2 minus 0, so nothing but 1 by 2, right? So this is your x of 0. So x of 0 you have, and also x of k. X of k is accepted k is equal to 0, right? So for that only I am finding x of 0 separately. So you write down the complex Fourier coefficient. X of k is equal to j by 2 pi k when k not equal to 0. Why? Because k is in the denominator. If you put k is equal to 0, it will become infinity. So this expression will be wrong. So that's why you have to find out x of 0 separately, right? So, and is equal to 1 by 2 for k is equal to 0, right? So this is your x of k value. Similarly, like in the previous problems, how we found, the same way I found the complex Fourier coefficients for x of k. Now we need to find out the magnitude spectra and phase spectra. So to find out magnitude spectra, find out magnitude of x of k, which is nothing but this j will go, right? As I am finding out the pure magnitude, that will be 1 by 2 pi k whole magnitude when k is not equal to 0. And also it is equal to 1 by 2 when k is equal to 0, right? So now try to find out try to draw the magnitude spectra here. So I am trying like this. So k here, x of k here. When k is equal to 0, magnitude is half, 1 by 2, right? So now put k is equal to 1. What happens? You see, when k is equal to 1 or minus 1, that will be 1 by 2 pi, right? Plus or minus 1 by 2 pi will come. So when k is equal to minus 1 or k is equal to 1, you will get 1 by 2 pi, right? So this is the value of 1 by 2 pi here, right? And when you put k is equal to 2 or minus 2, 1 by 4 pi. So this 1 by 4 pi, right? So at 1 and minus 1 I have 1 by 2 pi, and at 2 and minus 2 I have 1 by 4 pi magnitude. And if you put 3 or minus 3, right, 3 2s are 6. So that will be 1 by 6 pi. Here 1 by 6 pi, right? So the spectrum will be join all the points. So this will be the magnitude spectrum. This is the magnitude spectrum of x of k, right? So now try to find out the phase spectrum. To find out the phase spectrum, let us find out the phase of this x of k. To do that, let us write down x of k in the form of a of k plus j b of k. That is the real plus imaginary part. So if you observe this x of k, there is no real part. So plus j 1 by 2 pi k is my b of k. So to find out theta of k, the phase spectrum, that is nothing but tan inverse of imaginary part divided by real part, b of k by a of k. So you can write this as tan inverse of b of k is 1 by 2 pi k divided by 0, right? So anything divided by 0 is infinity. Tan inverse of infinity, which is nothing but pi by 2. So this value will be valid when k is greater than 0. For any value of k, it will leave with pi by 2 only, right? So if you put k is equal to 1 or right, see here theta is equal to 1, if you keep this will be 2 pi, right? So if you write theta is equal to 2, it will be 4 pi, right? Anyhow the denominator will be 0 only, whatever it may be the k value. So that's why you will be leaving with pi by 2. Suppose if you are keeping negative value, then it will be tan inverse of minus infinity. So both will be same only, but as you are writing the value of theta, so this will become minus pi by 2. So the phase spectrum for this will be, this phase spectrum if you are drawing this theta of k, and here you have k, right? So for positive values 1, 2, 3, the value is pi by 2. And for negative values, this is minus pi by 2. Tan minus theta is minus tan theta. So you have to write it like this. Then when k is equal to 0, anyhow this will lead to theta is equal to 0 degree, right? So this is the phase spectrum for the given problem.
For more videos, please do like, share, subscribe to our channel. Let us know your suggestions and queries in the comment box. Thank you.